Thanks Mashujaa.
Asante sana kwa keep time. Miso ulikuwa shaongea, si ndio? Miso alikuwa shaongea Wanyama, si ndio?
Nishaongea.
Very nice. Thank you, very important. Barikiwa sana. Billy Mijungu. Billy Mijungu. Billy Mijungu. Probably not. Steve Juma, your hand is up. How are you?
Fine, bro. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Talk to us.
Asante sana. I will just request for 4 minutes. I know you are stick to time, but I just have to share my thoughts in 4 minutes.
4 minutes ni mingi, bro. 4 minutes ni more, bro.
I will make 2 minutes then, because even the 3 minutes, I will not take it now. For the interest of time. Now, I've just a few concerns that I would want to make, that who controls the government now? Because who speaks for who? We've seen a lot of confusion in this government, where just the other day before Murkomen was fired, he had said that there will be no increase in road maintenance levy. A few days later, it was sneaked in. Now, you wonder what kind of government is this? Who are you believing, or who do you believe to talk about? Another thing, the other day, President is in ghost chase, where the other time he said that there are politicians funding the protest. He turned it again. The other day he also mentioned that is now Ford Foundation. The investigators on the other side are neither telling us whether whatever president is saying is truth or false. They went ahead to profile certain individual, and you remember they mentioned one politician in Nairobi, Mara someone in Rift Valley, blah, 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 blah. No one has been brought before court to be charged with those accounts. So we stay in a government that there's no direction. You don't know what they are doing. What we've seen is abduction of innocent souls, and then we found their bodies in Yala, in dump sites and the rest. Two, we have an existing authority like an IPOA. How long does it take an IPOA to investigate an open and shut case like the ones we've witnessed in the state, police shooting an innocent person, like the one of my fellow journalist who was shot the other day, yesterday? What action? Do we still wait for this file to gather dust? Like in the case of Jacob Juma, like in the case of Yebei, like in the case of the Yala victims, whose bodies were found dumped in swamp, like the other one we saw in Kware, like the case of Chris Musando and Caroline Gumbo, who are found somewhere in Kiambu. You know, we have so many cases that have become even historic to mention, and they are gathering dust in the shells of our investigators. Or is it the time now to point at the National Intelligence Service for failing this country? Because it's like everyone is gambling. We can't even believe the reports of the DCI the other day with the suspect who was arrested. Everyone is clueless. Whatever thing they say today, whether it's true or false, is just a lie. We don't believe. Is that the government we are in? As I close my remarks, bro, I will be very honest with you people. Some of us just woke up one morning and found that they are never verified for the reason known to the owners of these apps. And like you mentioned before, and a brother of mine also mentioned here, please give people opportunity to share their ideas. No one has monopoly of ideas or way forward. There are people who are silent down there. They have no, their accounts are not verified. But they have points to make for us. They have ideas that can impact society. I thank KOT because he gives platform for many people. But someone like Afrocentric, please, we must tell you, because we want transparency. You are not transparent. Inyi ni wale wamefika. Please give people opportunity to share their ideas. You build your spaces by the same people who are there as your audience. As you tell them to follow you, also advise each other here to follow one another so that we grow together. I have to make my point. My name is Steve Juma. I'm a champion for justice. If you want to know more of how we fought in these streets before, the likes of Okiya Mtata, we've been in these streets together for many years. My brother, my friend Billy Mijungu there, who has just dropped the mic, could tell you, we've seen the injustices that have been done in this city. Follow me or go to YouTube, find out Steve Juma NTV Investigatives. Then you get more details. Thanks, my brother. Thanks you for giving me time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But I'll tell you for a fact. If you come to Afros and Wanyama, I'm being the devil's advocate. If you come to KOTs, Afros, and the Wanyamas of our times spaces, you'll get the mic. To be honest, you'll always be given the mic. I've always seen, whether you're verified or not verified, whether you have 5 followers or 10 followers, you'll always still be given the mic. Probably, I'll tell you for a fact, I saw your DM. You sent me a DM to give you the mic. I told you I can't see your request. So sometimes we cannot even see requests at times. So sazino usipopewa mic, usikach. Sazino ni Twitter tu man. And sazino na Twitter inaturusha nje inaturudisha ndani. So inaweza kuwa issue ni internet tu maybe. Niko sure si kwa ubaya. Aya, sawa, and thank you for pointing that out. We want all of you guys to speak. That's why we are being strict on time. Wengine wenyewe wanataka ongea for 15 minutes. So that's be easy on us. On Sando, good morning, my brother. How are you? Talk to us. On Sando going once. For the second time on Sando. Amelala. Mchina, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Fine.
Talk to us. Your 3 minutes begin now.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the mic. Mi kitu ya kwanza nitaanza ku-upload na the host wa hii space ya Afrocentric. Mi nitakuwa open by the way. Tangu nianze kukua na join hii space, na kuanga, yani mi huwa naongea like hii space mi huwa naongea sana. Yenye mtu haizi sema sijui ati wewe unachagua watu verified ama nini. Mimi niko na followers sijui ni 1000 ama around 1500. But huwa naruhusiwa kuongea hapa. Hii ni space ya ideas by the way. Mimi nimeona hii ndio space yenye at least tunaweza connect vizuri sana. Huku hivi hakunanga ubaguzi ya kuongea. So, my point kwanza ni mambo ya jana mazena. Nataka tu kukondole kwa watu, send condolences kwa watu tulipoteza jana mazee. It was so sad. Say quick recovery for those who sustained injuries. Alafu na tuendelee na hii fight. Tutakuwa na damages, wengine tutauliwa, wengine tutakuwa abducted, but tuendelee kufight. Let's fight for this incompetence. Mazee tukisema tu tunanyamaza saa hizi, Ruto atabeba hii Kenya, ataenda hizi huko wapi mahali anaendanga huko Europe. Tusimpe chance yoyote. Alafu historia DCI ya juzi wameenda kuchukua msee mwenyewe, hata jamaa mwenyewe anakaa very innocent, hata kai msee ashaioa, wanasema ati aliua bibi yake, sijui ameua watu kuare na hawawezi prove. Wanaleta ngoda mpya hapo kuonyesha ati na evidence. Tunajua hawa waseo kuna vitu mingi sana huko kwa DCI, store yao imejaa ma exhibit. Hizi masimu zimejaa huko sana. Ukisikiza tu stories zenye yani hawa waseo wanaleta hazi add up. Alafu to make the matters worse, yani kuonyesha tu hii kitu ilikuwa discussed before walete huyu suspect akuje kuconfess. Tunasikia bibi ya President Rachel Ruto anakuja anaongea, anasema we have a cult, we have a serial killer. Alijuaje tuko na serial killer? Alafu serial killer mwenyewe anakuja, after mentioning serial killer mwenyewe anajitokeza anakuja kuconfess. That was bullshit. We don't have a government here, guys. Mimi nilikuwa na hii strategy hivi, like tuko na huyu new police anaitwanga aje, Inspector General wa saa hii mwenye tuko na yeye. This guy seems at least akona akili kidogo, ajipigi kifua kama Koome. So tunaweza organize meeting hata kama ni Kasarani Stadium, mayouth wote tujitokeze. Juu kitu ya kwanza inafaa to fight sasa ni police brutality. Tujitokeze mayouth wote na tukae na meeting na huyu jamaa wa polisi huyu, tumwambie sisi tu express views zetu zote, tumwambie sisi tuna document kila kitu inaendelea na hakuna Gen Z mwenye ni mwizi. Kwa maandamano sisi protesters hatuko wezi, we don't distract any property, we don't harm people, we don't carry even atubebi rungu. Sisi kitu tunabeba ni chupa ya maji, bendera na Very simple things. So we need this man to come out and differentiate between peaceful protesters and goons, because we know very well who hires the goons. Alafu, let me wind up. So inafaa tukue na at least tukae chini tuongee, tuelewane way forward venye tutakuwa tunafanya hii maandamano. Kitu ya kwanza inafaa tuanzane nayo ni police brutality. Tukimaliza kama hawa jamaa hata tusikia, tuna hold rally, tunatokelezea sasa hii, it is not about Ruto must go, it is about ending police brutality. Tuna occupy police stations, tuna occupy DCI offices, tuna occupy kila mahali. Ni kupicket tu, kupiga tu kelele, kuambia polisi kama mtaka kutuua tumejileta sasa mtuue, lakini hakuna kudestroy anything. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Asante sana. And guys, I'm trying to balance this the voices that I hear here. Chalia akiongea natafuta Dema ongee. Dema akishaongea nataka Chalia ongee. There's a guy called Karugu Junior Steve. Karugu Junior Steve, Farao, Gideon Mike Tum na Machani. Please withdraw your mics and re-request. Nimejaribu kuwapatia mics mara kama 1000 inakataa. System inawa reject. So withdraw your mics and then resend. I'll give you the mics. Let's go to Judy. Good morning, Judy. How are you? And guys, if you've already spoken, please just drop so that niupatie wase wengine chance nini spot yenyu. Judy, call Judy who? Judy Mudhoni. How are you? Good morning. Talk to us.
Good morning to Wanyama. I'm fine. I'm very happy to be given this opportunity. For me, what I would like to say, guys, it is the time that we clear this government. Manze, hii gava imetutesha sana, 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 sana. For me, I actually even regret, why we kept this government there. And manze, mi sisikii watu wengi wakiongea kuhusu hii nini. Hii bunge manze, mi hii bunge imenisinya sana. So, Prezo, juu alido away with that cabinet yake. So, it is the high time pia wabunge manze watolewe, because these guys, they don't seem to care about us, because like right now watu wanaabductiwa, watu wanauliwa, but even our own MP hakuna mtu mwenye anaongea about this, wamenyamaza tu. So meaning hiyo kitu haiwakeri, they are just there, they are just happy about it. So it is the high time for those guys, hiyo bunge yao iende dissolviwe, and those guys they come back to us, wakuje warudi na huko kwenye tuko, so that wasalimie, after all watoke waende. We put a new government. After that, hata huyu Ruto, he must go. By the way, hiyo ni kitu yenye bado tu tunasema he must go. Yeye ndiye amekuwa rotten huko juu, kwanza ndiye ameanzia, ndio hao wengine asione ati anatuambia ati ametoa hao cabinet nini, so ameoshwa. Hapana, he's the most rotten person. So akue tu atoke na hiyo gava yake. Hatutaki kujua vile watu wanauliza ati then what next, mkitoa gava what next. Tutajua tukifika huko mbele. So manze, mine hiyo, and thanks so much kwa kunipa hiyo mic. Thanks so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, asanteni sana Ayo. I think has dropped off kidogo. He's really held this pace. We've been on since midnight. We are 2 minutes from, a minute from top of the hour. Asanteni sana for everyone who's been tuned in. Before I give to our next host, which is Afrocentric, let me bring in Ayo first before he fully goes. I don't know where he goes to and then comes back, but he's a hardworking guy. I wanted to address our fellows who are journalists. Keoti, unaweza nisikia? Maybe. Okay, thanks. This is my message to you, our fellow journalists who are in traditional media or whatever media you're doing. See, one thing yenye mnakuja ku try and propagate on these spaces is something that we do not see it as respect. We've built these spaces on the basis of it's either an open mic session or it's a closed mic session. Closed mic sessions, we clearly marked them as closed mic sessions, and they have certain speakers with a message to pass across. Majority of the spaces have always been open mic sessions, and we ask everyone to request the mic, be it with 2 followers to 100,000 followers or 500,000 followers. In case we need to pass an important message, we always ask everyone to give a chance to the next speaker. So easy allegations mnaleta to these spaces, please stop it. Tuishi tu in respect that has always been there. Hatujai kuja to your showrooms and etc. Tukauliza for a lot of time blah blah blah. In case hata mkienda Citizen mshaona mtu amepatiwa more time than what is required to be there. Twitter spaces, everyone will get an equal opportunity, irrespective of the entitlement that we feel, because this is your profession. Tafadhali tuishi tu in respect, and the easy majab tunapeana left, right and center. There are people we will have to shut off because we've had them in spaces over and over again, trying to sow confusion, trying to sow all these kind of things that we do not advocate for. It's upon us who host the spaces. So tukiendelea, please, journalists, we really admire what you offer in these spaces mkikuja kuongea, because some of you have been in the profession longer than us. Badala ya kuja kutupatia hapa mawaidha, unakuja kutupiga. Please, this is not the time for us to sow this type of confusion. It's top of the hour, 2:00 kamili. Afro, kwa hapa na mimi?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Aya, chukua usukani, karibu sana.
Good morning, good morning.
Wewe mzee ulikuwa wapi? Wewe mzee ulikuwa wapi kabla utuambie hapa good morning?
Nilikuwa nimeka simu chini, lakini kidude kilikuwa kwenye sikio. So mnaniambia ati afro na sizi jibu, so natuma tu salamu hewani. But I've had majority of the space. Thank you, Ayo, for holding it down. Able co-host, Maze, you have really shouldered this space, the most difficult hours of the morning. And also thank you, Hosty, for keeping your phone charged, the internet connection strong, so that Kenyans can come here and air their views. And most importantly, to the most important person on the space, which is you, the protester, the anarchist, the Eugene ingine ilikuwa gani? Ile inashika maximum life. Kuna anarchist, kuna criminals, na kuna ingine kali, ukisikia unasikia kama
Sons and Daughters. Alafu sijui ingine ni gani?
No, before Sons and Daughters kuna ingine inatuma radi kwenye mwili wako, ile ya kupindua serikali. That crime is very high. Anyway, we'll come back
Revolutionist. I'm a revolutionist.
Treasonist. Yeah. Treasonists. Hey, fellow treasonists. Good morning, wherever you are. Nakuru County, Mombasa, Nairobi, wherever you are, every county, all the 47 counties represented. Yesterday was amazing. I mean, it was a give and take, because it was a proud moment to be a Kenyan, for all of us to unite and not only show ourselves, because something that has not been done is very difficult to see. But we saw the invisible, which was us coming out and just partaking in civil disobedience, which is under our Constitution 2010. We're allowed to picket, we're allowed to peacefully assemble and let the government of the day know that the injustices they are perpetuating on their people, on the citizenry, cannot go on. It is not business as usual right now in Kenya. We are at a turning point. The whole world is watching us. All the Western media, Arab media, Chinese media. I'm just seeing Kenya is on the news, Al Jazeera. And I've seen a clip from Al Jazeera. They did their Lord's work. They really caught the police brutality. And the international pressure is beginning to mount. Let no one lie to you that what we are doing has no effect. Jana tulitokelezea paka hata Mungu akatusalimia. Nani alisikia hiyo mtetemeko wa ardhi? Wherever you are, Hebu nitupie 100 if you felt it kwenye
Bro,
space.
jana kulikuwa na mtetemeko wa ardhi. Maneiba walitoka wote, nikadhani kwani wapi kuna unajua, I was asleep, so it's like nimesikia mtetemeko wa ardhi, nikaamka kutoka nje, nasikia maneiba wanapiga kelele kutoka nje, naona kila mtu ako nje, niko like what building is burning bana, what's happening? Kumbe ni mtetemeko wa ardhi. Karudi nikalala.
I know that it was the same day after we came from protesting, so that even means Mungu amesema Zakayo ashuke. So Mungu akuna sisi tukuna sisi. I mean, ni tu Zakayo amebaki pale juu, na alituambia when he campaigned, alituzia nini, slogan gani? Bottom up, lakini shida alimetuacha bottom na yeye akaenda up. Sasa sisi tunakuja up tukisema Zakayo lazima ashuke. So guys, the hashtag is Ruto must go. Yesterday it was trending worldwide, globally. I think right now it's pushing 3 million tweets closely. That shows you the collective consciousness of the Kenyan people is that this government has failed. A government's primary duty is to protect its citizens. Imeshindwa na kazi. It is not guaranteed anymore that you would leave your house today and come back. It is not guaranteed that you'll fall asleep and not get abducted at night. The Nyayo days are slowly creeping back over Kenya as Ruto fights to hold his grip on power. But his days are numbered because our resolve is unshaken. And if you think it hasn't happened, it happened in Tunisia. They had a movement in the Arab Spring. They went for 29 days. December 17th, 2010 to January 14th, 2011. Ben Ali fled the country. Look it up. Egypt, Hosni Mubarak at Tahrir Square. They met there from January 25th to February 11th, 2011. Mubarak resigned. Mi nakwambia ile ndege inaenda kutoa Ruto na familia yake, Baba Rachel, mzee wife wa Rachel na Shalin, Baba Shalin, hiyo ndege itawatoa Kenya, because Kenyans are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Anyway, enough hearing about me. Let me pass the microphone to Mr. Alfred Ochieng. Umemkaje? Uko na hasira ama uko sawa? Ruto aendelee ama asimame? Ochieng, I hope you're there. Tafadhali napitisha mic moto. I hope mmeamka. Ochieng going once. Ochieng amelala kwenye kazi. Najua yo by the way, one of the side effects of tear gas ni uchovu asubuhi. Ukiamka umesikia uchovu, just know when you shujaa, you are fighting for your country. Jonah, uko hapo kwenye mic? Jonah, unatupata? Jonah. Jonah, tear gas.
Jonah, unanisikia? Jonah.
Nope. Jonah.
What you do, Afro, just tell them to raise their hands. So that you know who's ready.
Okay. Guys.
Better.
Yeah, raise your hands. If you want to speak, raise your hands. If you don't speak, my able co-hosts will drop it. Because we have a hotline. And apologies too. If you feel you're not being selected, I need to push this in. Guys, this space is for the people. Because one thing we understand is to make small wigs, and we know what it is to be not to be able to be picked or to be selected just because of this is a social media app. Na hii social media app, see hata what is happening kwa grao. Like, unaona, there have been activists who are very active, who have done so much for Kenya on the ground. Lakini kuja hapa Twitter, because not engaged, wako na 5 followers. That does not mean they're not important. Na hao ndo watu ndo nataka kuongea. Those are the people I try to get. Because, manzi, tuko wase wengi. Manzi, it's very hard. It's like playing picky ponky. Like, who we don't know until we get you. So please bear with us, tupatie some slack. This is in space for the people. Hatutaki hata mabulupaji kwa sababu they are social media professionals. We want the real professionals. So apologies if you feel like you're being neglected. We will get to you in due time. Let us move on to Chigret. Chigret, did I say it right?
Yes, thank you. Thank
Good
you so
morning,
much.
good morning, comrade.
Good morning, Afrocentric. Good morning, everyone. Fellow treasoners. I'm so mad. I don't know why people are not passing around the fuck you word anymore. I don't know if you guys, you're not mad, but I'm so mad after yesterday, fuck Ruto and all his cronies. Like, I'm just so mad. I just want to stress on something. Okay, we are fighting for good governance and all that, but I feel like we should immediately start talking to Ruto about police brutality. Like, every other thing should stop until we are sure that this man is not going to kill us anymore. Because, guys, the right to life is the most fundamental human right. You know, if this man is going to kill us, then there are no people who are going to even enjoy the things that we are fighting for. We need to be sure that the human life, which is sacred, is respected by this man who in fact opposed our constitution. I'm so mad, by the way, at even the people who saw this man, who is not even qualified for a village elder, to be at the helm of our country. And now we are dealing with a man who is rogue, a psycho, a narcissist, who is killing children. You know, but now that we are here, we cannot allow Ruto to continue using live bullets on children. That is urgent. It is so urgent to me. I've been like seeing the videos from yesterday, and I'm just so mad. I'm mad right now. I'm not in the country, but I was in the UK High Commission yesterday. I went to protest. I was in the first protest, the first Tuesday when Kenyans occupied Parliament. I was also there in London. I went to protest. I'm not even staying in England, but I had to just do everything that I can so that I can add to the collective voice of Kenyans. Guys, it is urgent, because this man does not have any respect for human life. He is killing people. Like, we can't. Do we want to mean that we are back to an era where people cannot talk? Like, we cannot express ourselves in our country? I feel like every other thing should stop, and Ruto should address police brutality by force, by fire. It is a matter of urgency that he should tell us why he's killing people. I'm so mad, guys. Secondly, I want to address people from my community. I'm a Luo. There is this propaganda that is going on that, I don't know, the people who are trying to come into this thing and start pulling tribal cards. I don't know, this is war of which and which. You guys, like, can't you see it's a different thing altogether? We have never been like this in this country, where now people are occupying the parliament. Can't you see that it's a different thing? Why are you pulling tribal cards? I don't know which people are fighting which people. We do not care. The man that we've been following and the man that I've voted for 3 times has never, ever even put any regime to account for the Luo lives that have been killed. And yet now you are coming to tell us that, it is now this war, these people who are fighting these people. Like, you guys who are woke enough, go back to your parents and tell them that they cannot continue to tell us nonsense about tribal things. This is not about tribe. Ruto is killing children, and you're telling me about, I don't know who is fighting who. Like, guys, I don't know, but you guys don't like, we should do everything possible to stop Ruto. Ruto should just go. Ruto should go. Come fire, come rain, come what, he should go. He is not fit. He was not fit to be anything in this country. He is not fit now, and he belongs to the ICC. That's where he belongs to. Like, guys, I'm just so mad. Also, I want to reinstate. Okay, my time is up, Afrocentric. Thank you for reminding me. But I just want to say that what we are doing is being seen by the world. Wherever we are, last week I was going for a conference in South Africa, and I was met by people who were telling me, "Are you a Kenyan?" They were serving me. You know, we are proud of you. We are so proud of you, what you're doing. So we cannot afford, because this, what we are doing right now, Africa depends on us. The change in Africa that we want to see is going to start from Kenya. So guys, we cannot afford to relent. People are seeing what we are doing. People are appreciating what we are doing. And we can't afford to go back. Ruto should go, and it should set a precedence to every African rogue leader who is using us and dumping us in these countries that are not, these countries we are suffering. People are suffering in these countries. We need to go back home. But African leaders have made our continent a cemetery. We have to say enough is enough. That is all I had for today. And guys, fuck Ruto. And the madness should not end. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Powerful. I like how you landed your plane, showing that we have a responsibility to the rest of the continent. Please mute your mic, space etiquette, unless called upon. We are giving Africa the blueprint to get out of the shackles of tyranny. Cause, help me. Drop someone who is unmuting or can't mute their mic. Help me. But how to get out of the shackles of tyranny, guys? Understand there were 52 African nations who are being used by a political class that are pillaging Africa from its natural resources and people's labor through punitive taxes. This thing is not a Kenyan problem. It's an African issue. We have had South Africans in this space, Mozambicans, Nigerians coming and just saying, brothers, we see you. You're making me believe again. Do you know what it is for someone else to look at you and say, umefanya near me? Like, I could not believe. My mind was in a prison. I couldn't see it. We were in a mental blockade. We can't see it. But the fact that you're doing it, we know we can do it. And that's why we cannot give up, not only for the fruits for ourselves, not the fruits of freedom of the country we are going to harvest. It will ripple across Africa from Cairo to Cape Town. This is going to happen. So guys, I hope umemkana hasira. Ruto has to go. Ruto must go. That is the clarion call on every space. Ruto must go. So append that hashtag to this space, retweet it. Let's get as many comrades as that are in here. I know you're part of a WhatsApp group. I know you're part of a Telegram group. Take this, copy this, the link of this tweet and just drop it there and say, "Wase tuko hapa, kujeni," because people do not know this is the forum that we make our plans. Watu wajui hapa ndo tunapanga maneno, tunapanga ni Tuesday, ni Thursday, na ni wapi tunakutana wapi, ni hapa tunafanya hii maneno yote. Ndio maana hata government, kwa sababu wote ni wazee, hawajui. Unafikiri Ruto anashika simu yake? Unajua Ruto anaweza ingia Twitter, anajua kuweka password. Ni handler, ni Itumbi, and those, by the way, allow me to speak French. Fuck Itumbi, fuck 150 government blockers, fuck the apologists, and if you're down with them, fuck you too. We are mad at how you're pillaging and selling our future of our kids. So if you think we have run out of fucks to give in this space, fucks ziko mingi. So fuck all of them. I apologize, but I'm not too sorry. So we are mad. The facts are flying left, right, and center. Chunga. I hope umevaa helmet. Moja sikugonge, moja inaweza kuokota kama unalala tu nde. Usingie space kama uko tu unaweza kula tackle moja wazimu. Especially kama uko na jina ina sound kama honorable na unajaribu when you sound like you're in the government. Unaweza kula stray bullet. Anyway, moving rather quickly, we want to get everyone over here. Mr. Joe Gadhura, karibu kwenye mic, comrade.
Well, asanteni sana, and thank you very much for this opportunity. So, he could have been trying to get one over the last couple of weeks, but I've not managed to. But now I've been given that opportunity. I would say so far so good. The pressure is increasing. The pressure is getting to the right people, and kila siku wanatetemeka. They see the magnitude and they get worried every day. And it will get a time whereby they will get trembling. Just like an earthquake, they will hold no more and they will give up to pressure. But I would like to pinpoint maybe one or two things. And one of them is understanding the person that we are up against. One thing, Ruto is not just like any other politician. Well, he's a schemer. Everybody knows this. And I believe in when somebody is going to war, when somebody is going up against an enemy, one of the most intelligent things to do is to understand your enemy very well so that you don't fight a blind war. So I feel like we have a tendency of underestimating what Ruto can do and what Ruto, the extent that him and his people can go and do. Him and Gachagua are a very, very bad combination, a very bad one. The only thing that can work is when they start fighting each other, as we have seen the last couple of months, especially leading up to this start of this protest. So if we have a good understanding who Ruto is and the measures that he can implement to stop the Mandamana, then we are up against such a person. So I would, even as we plan ahead, tusisahau hiyo. Let us understand the man himself. He probably has the best training during the 2007-2008 clashes. Everybody knows what happened, and everybody knows the plans that underwent for everything that happened. I don't want to tell because everybody knows. But this man would go to great lengths, great strength to get things done. And I mean, so he has come across this. He has come across this, and he's ready for war. So let us embrace, keep the pressure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. We're gonna keep the pressure going. Bon Eye, Shika Mike.
Hey, Maze, thanks, Wanyama, Afro, Ayo, KOT, my people, guys. Maze, big up, anytime and every time, Maze, for making this thing go real, go worldwide. And I'm very proud of you guys. This is a good thought whereby you guys are coming with one big space. You know, you people, you are our people, and we really appreciate that. Okay. For me, I just wanna say this, guys. These people, I don't think we, the Gen Zs, we will be doing the same thing every time. Let's not use energy. Why don't we use our brains, man? We got a lot of people right here who are blessed in different in different fields, bro. Why don't we try and make it difficult for this butcher from Sugoi to rule this country? Very simple. There are a lot of things that we can do even without going to the streets. We will be going to the streets, but we have other days that we are not in the streets. What can we do in the comfort of our living room? We can resist. We can boycott companies, products that are really trying to help these motherfuckers. Guys, how many times? I was in another space, I think, before we went to the CBD. And guys, first of all, Manze, I am so frustrated guy. Guys, I booked a flight back to Kenya to come and fight this fucking shit guy because he's the one who made me run away of this country. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Just imagine you've traveled all the way from Mombasa with the only money that you had, going to watch maybe a Gor Mahia or AFC game. Then you are beaten mercilessly by Bandari. Manze, will you even have energy to go back to Nairobi? That is me at the moment. So we need to resist. We need to make it hard for Ruto to govern this country. Let it go even for I'm asking myself, people are complaining. I saw in a lot of spaces, people are complaining they have businesses and whatever. Motherfucker, don't tell me of business. 2008, after the post-election, after 2007 election, people went for 3 fucking months. The country, you couldn't even get, it reached a point, even the main commodities, you cannot get them in the shops. I never saw anyone complaining. The business community who are hiring goons, they're saying they're hiring people to come and protect their fucking businesses. Guys, you better stay that 3 months, or even if it's 5 months, without getting whatever you get every day. But the rest of your life, you live a happy life. So, my people, it's very simple. We will be on the streets if it is Tuesday and Thursday. I will be there, and I've been there since we started all this thing. I want also to tell you one thing, because I've been hoping, as I finish up, I've been hoping to a lot of spaces, and not only spaces, getting views from people. Like most people, let's say, for example, people from Rift Valley and Eldoret, most of them, they're like saying, now they were fighting for the bill, they were rejecting the bill, but they didn't know this issue of removing the president. So for them, most of them, they're teared apart. Some are with us. Some are still not convinced. Why am I supposed to go to the state? So these and a lot of things, that is why you see a lot of people are not coming. So we need also to put pressure, because the person who is in Eldoret might maybe differ with us about Ruto must go, but again, this person will be there with us to ask their counties, like if it's Kotimoja, why is this guy misusing funds? Why is it that? So let's put this pressure on the counties as well, as we focus. The people in Nairobi, we in Nairobi, let's focus with Nairobi. The other people, let them try to focus in their counties. So these people, they will forget what we are doing and what we are planning. So when they are concentrating on the counties, then boom, we are back in the streets in Nairobi. And that's how we're going to defeat these people. They'll not know, and they'll never believe. So that is what I want to say. And when I finish, guys, I've also been saying, and please, Wanyama, Afro, and Ayo, KOT, sensitized people, they should not even follow and comment or respond to these bloggers, the likes of Intumbi, It's Mutai, Alai, and whatever. Give them total blackout, and they get very media. Give them total blackout. Sorry for taking much time. Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much. Man, your commitment is gone above and beyond, flying from overseas to come to Kenya to protest for the country that you love, while we are having cases of people bado hajatoka hata nyumbani kufika tao wanazificha kwa nyumba. Very, very, very sad. Reminds me the story of breakfast. The chicken and the pig said, we're going to make breakfast. The chicken said, nitatoa mayai mbili. Nguruwe kasema, mimi nitatoa bacon. Lakini shida ni the chicken it doesn't have to die. To give chicken, it doesn't have to die. To give eggs, it doesn't have to die. But a pig has to die to tukule bacon. So to provide that, the freedom we need, kuna watu hapa wana sacrifice. Wamekufa ndio tukue na freedom. Lakini kuna watu wanapatia na mayai. Na kuna watu hawafanyi kitu. Na one thing we've been saying on spaces is that tunakuja kwa spaces, tunapiga kelele for those who are in the country. Tunasema tunapiga kelele, tunashika mic, tunasema guys, let's go out. We're in the country. I'm not talking about the people in diaspora. But when the day comes for kuandamana, hawatokelezei kwa street. Vile niko kwa space, nasema guys, retweet the space. Naenda hapo, naona 15 people out of, hebu nione tuko ngapi sahi? 600. Let me just, I like math. Math is a beautiful thing because it doesn't not lie. Tuko 600, lakini 15. Najua mimi nimeretweet, Wanyama ameretweet, Ayo ameretweet, KOT ameretweet. So that means only 10 people. 10 people have retweet. Guys, can everyone in the space retweet? When you retweet, it goes to your TL. and then visibility comes, and more comrades can come into this, can see the space. People who don't follow the host, people who don't follow me, who don't follow Ayo can see the space and then join in. So guys, please retweet the space. I want to see that number. Your number ndo unacheza nayo. Your retweet number unacheza nayo. Otherwise, tunafanya nini hapa kama tunapiga kelele na tutokea kwa streets? Tunafanya nini hapa kama tugongi your algorithm ya Ruto must go? We are here for action. We're here for digital action. This is how word gets out on the street. We're here making sure we're all in sync. Mentally, we're in sync. We're all saying Ruto must go. Si mtu mwingine anasema, what are we doing? Let's go back to business as usual. No, we have come too far to give up now. Mike to Gideon. Gideon, welcome to the mic. Karibu, retweet. Ruto must go. Gideon Mike. Can you hear me? Gideon Mike, umeinua mkono. Can't see you. Aya, Steven Muriuki.
Good morning.
Steven Muriuki.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steven Muriuki. I am not a honorable, but I tried to vie for MCA seat, and nikakuliwa na wananchi sana, pesa ikatawala. But I will never give up because I know what I had, what were my vision and what I wanted to do with my people. Now, this gives us another opportunity that we can be able to change the narrative, even though we are not honorable MCAs or honorable members of parliament, because now the power is with the people. So this gives us another chance to right the wrongs. Now, I've also been in another space, and there's that complaint about people not coming out in large numbers. There are different proposals. As we say that we don't have leaders in these Gen Z demos, then it means that probably a time is going to come when what is happening in one space and what is happening in the other space will come into congruence, and we will talk in one voice, because what they are experiencing is what also we are experiencing. I've had somebody saying that really people are not coming out on those Tuesdays, and there are reasons that have been given in other spaces. I want to say that congratulations for all those of us who were able to get to CBD yesterday, and we can say that so far we wanted the CS position, the CS to be dissolved. That was dissolved. We also say that we need the bill to be withdrawn. That was withdrawn. We asked about the audit of the national debt. This thing, I think after the president did come up with a task force, of which I also don't like, because this task force, and we know that Auditor General can be able to give a state of the facts. I also did not agree with him on that. But we also need to know, because I was in that space where Jimmy Wajigi was saying that how the situation of our country, and he was giving us the facts that maybe at one time we might default in our debts. But again, I gave him a benefit of doubt, because there is another guy who said a thief who has no opportunity to steal things is the honest man, because wherever he is, Jimmy Wajigi should know that we know that Anglo Leasing touched him and he made his money from there. And so he's now trying to sanitize himself, or the Gen Zs are going to sanitize. Thank you. Just a few minutes now. And the other thing is that the list of the CS that is coming up, and where there is smoke, there is fire. For example, we cannot accept that Wycliffe Oparanya can take a position because we know there is malfeasance that he has done in Kakamega. We cannot come here to sanitize him. So I'm asking, because now most of those things that we all needed have been addressed, or they are being addressed. Is it possible that you can give time to see, now you have addressed this, then we do a reaction? Or if it is coming out, can we see whether we come out now on a Saturday so that many people can come in? I think it's for everyone now to digress and see which is the best way that we can be able to come out and create impact going forward. Otherwise, mimi tuko pamoja sana, and I'll be there because I need this country to move. I need actually things to work for me, for my children, and for everyone. And so far, so good. Thank you so much, guys. Let's continue. I drop my mic for the next person.
Thank you so much. powerful points. Let me give the microphone to Fundi wa Thamos. Retweet the space, guys. We are 28. We need to reach 600 at least. We have 600 people in here. Let's retweet the space. It's on the hosts Wanyama's TL. Fundi, Mike Niako. Fundi. Karibu chekika Fundi anaweza kusikia. Fundi wa Thamos. Let's go to Kenyan checklist.
Hello.
Bana. Mike Niako.
Pole sana. Good morning, Afro. Good evening, wengine.
Niko hapa. Niendelee ama kuna mtu mwingine?
Kuna mtu mwingine anaongea?
Okay, nilikuwa busy kidogo, pole. So, mimi kitu nasema, number one, we fuck Ruto and the government. Maze nimechukia polisi sana. I even talked to my friends and asked them when you wako kwa police, like, is this how dumb you guys are?
Hello?
Like, you can kill people, you can shoot people. Yani hata hamna aibu. So kitu nasema, big up to everyone in the Gen Z movement wenye wanakaza hii, but kuna vitu zingine tunaongea, I'm not like na pinga vitu zingine watu wanasema asiwezekani. We can't sit with Ruto sahi tumwambie about police brutality because hizo vitu lazima zi happen and freedom haikujangi tu rahisi. Yesterday I was so sad, vitu nilikuwa naona kwa street like watu wanashutiwa. Yesterday walikuwa like just shoot. Muliona ile powder imeletwa jana haijaitumika kabisa, which shows that Ruto gives zero facts about this generation because this is the future. It's the same way, if there is a negative zero facts, that's what we should give this Ruto. Ruto haezi elewa lugha ingine except kwa streets. Hakuna kuna mmoja alisema like we can boycott. Boycott inamaanisha tukae tu nyumbani, of which hatuwezi boycott vitu zote. You need to eat, you need to be online. The best thing, tujitokeze venye watu wanajitokeza. Wale waoga tu kaa kwa nyumba, I will always say that. Na wenye wanajitolea, we go out there knowing that you may not come back. It's not a guarantee. This is not a movie. A director amekwambia utarudi. But ukiwa uko nje, stay safe. Let's keep pushing. Yesterday I was happy niliona counties zimeingiwa. That way we need to push it more. 47 counties, tukizifinya sana, tukifinya the governors plus Ruto must go, hiyo kitu itakuwa imekaza sana. It means we paralyze the county governments at the same time paralyzing the national government. Ruto na Gachagua and all the people, they should go home. Mimi nasema hii revolution venye inakuja ikiendelea hivi, kila mtu by the mwenye amekuwa leader, hata kama ni mwenye anajipendekeza tunampenda ama nini, mtu ameongoza once twice, these guys are the same. Mliona juzi kina Sifuna wamepitisha bill yenye ni kama hii tu kwa East African Assembly, but wakikuja hapa wanatuonyesha like venye wao ni wazuri, wanatupenda. Wale watu they serve their masters. So I'm happy na staki niongea sana. Wanyama, I will follow you back in like 4 days. Usishangae mbona naongea na sija kufollow. Wenye sija follow, I will follow you too pia. Niko ban yenye nimekaziwa. Follow me, tutapatana. I'm here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that clarification kwa sababu hakuna kitu chungu kupatiana mic na oni mtu akufollow unashangaa. Will this be the last time we have a conversation? Is this the last time we are talking? Because we are now in this space to talk to each other. Now, come and follow the host. You will not see his face when it goes up, or anyone who hosts these protest spaces. So, guys, we are getting reports. There are hundreds of Kenyans who have been detained in Central Police Station. One of them is Free Polo Kimani. Polo Kimani is very influential on this timeline. KOX, if you've been here a minute, you know him. And we're saying Free Polo Kimani. The LSK president went to Central yesterday with Psycho Scenes, and they're able to, I believe, get communication and confirm that he was there at Central. So we hope today, they said that he will be released. That was the word. But we are still pressing. We're letting no comrade will be left behind. So if anyone you know is missing, please request a mic, come make noise about it. Right now we are writing history. We are turning this country around. The hashtag is Ruto must go. Retweet the space, follow the hosts, follow each other, follow the co-hosts. And guys, let's change Kenya with our conversation, the power of knowledge, the power of information, knowing what your government is doing with your money, knowing what your government is doing with its taxes, knowing what is the government operating outside the constitution or inside the constitution. Are they implementing the full constitution, or they're just picking and cherry picking what laws to follow and what to amend and what not to follow? I'm telling you, Kenyans, tumeamka, and we are talking. We are literally the official opposition of Kenya. Hiya, Stephen, Mr. Hempstone. If you want to talk, lift up your hand and make it easier for me. Mr. Hempstone, can you hear me? Mr. Hempstone? Hempstone? I'll give you 3 seconds to get to your mic.
Hello, morning.
Morning, Mike Nyako. Karibu, comrade.
Okay, Mr. Hempstone. First, I would like to thank each and everyone for this morning that we are being somber day for the laws our own government is giving us. My views was on government accountability. Some of the government officials might think that Gen Zs or other people like us in another generation that Gen Z follows think that we are dwarf academically, we don't know what is happening. But we have the concrete reason as why we are on the road. We are not foolish. We are not slaves, or we are not after anything, but we are just after our rights. The accountability of this government of ours, we are basically looking for the mechanisms, processes, and also the institutions where the officials of this government are taking directives in managing the actions of the government. In terms of transparency, we see that the government of ours is an Obaki government. We don't have some fully transparency in terms of adherence and accountability. I will start from the hierarchical leadership of the public governmental sectors. You find out that we don't have any transparency in those sectors. As one region is surpassing other regions, you find out that in public sectors portfolios, 95.5% of one tribe is leading that government sectors. That means we don't have transparency, and that is why people are on the road, and all of them are on the road looking for the accountability. Accountability is not only on the economic dwarfness, but we have a lot of things that we're basing on. To put this man, I don't know, it's called our president, let me say so, on check. Because it is our fault with the churches. And that makes me another 200 reasons why I will not go to church, or why I will not tithe on any church or any platform. Because we were lied. And I've made me to discover that sympathy at times is a killer disease. Voting on sympathy criteria or on voting on sympathy background, it is a killer disease. The government itself is doing another thing in safety, means contributory negligence. For the dwarfness, for the effectiveness, and for the economic constraint that is happening in this government is being managed by the government itself. It is contributing to its own negligence, to the needs and desire of the public. And when you contribute to something, thinking that you are doing something right, you think that you know. The wise, some book, it says, wise people speak when they have a reason to say, but a foolish people speak when they have a podium to speak. And that is why in this government of ours, we have full of people who want to speak because they have a podium to speak. That is our leaders that we selected. And
I'm really sorry to say that one. And I'm not sorry to any speaker of the government. Another thing is the oversight. When you come to the legislative side of the government bodies, it has failed on the oversight. The audit officers is trying, but when the more they try, the more they're being freezed. And that thing each and every person is saying, we don't have any independent bodies. You find that on oversight issues, we have some people called governmental watchdogs, and like of those Eldoret, I don't know the name very well, is under the watchdog of the government officials. How can someone unable to define his own dental formula become the watchdog of the government, and we expect miracles to come from the same government? How can we have leaders who doesn't even understand the year they were born, and they are there to give directives on the young generation that have gone to school, they have learned, they have degrees, they have all portfolios to sustain them in this government by the outside. But those people struggling with English, even mine is better than them, they are there driving a very big vehicles. I think each and everyone saw the clip that was on social media yesterday. One of the area MPs I don't want to mention was telling his own congregants, I don't know if those people are voters, that mumekuja hapa hivi nimejua ni mbaya.
Tafadhali ukimalizia.
Okay. Second last thing is the legal framework of the government. And we look also for the responsive of the government. The government itself is unresponsive to the desire and needs of the common mwananchi. And that is why we are on the road. And public participation, we have failed in public participation. I can say that the government itself is taking 3% over 100% of the common mwananchi, and it comes with that confirmation that they have participated with the various stakeholders of the common mwananchi for the last finance bill. And lastly, I've seen our able president dissolved the cabinet, and he is going now to appoint another cabinet. It's like telling me that our host Wafula, is it Wanyonyi Wafula, is now being baptized to become Wafula Wanyonyi, and you're telling me that that is another person. You know, when I'm Hemston, Mr. Hemston, and it becomes Hemston Mr., doesn't mean that I've changed. And that is what is happening in the in this government. Recycling of the government. Thank you for the day, and I wish you well. I believe you will work together to do all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Your mic is open.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And
have you injected?
Have I done what? Sorry.
Have you received this space by injecting?
Yes, I have.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for the host for hosting this, and condolences to everyone who's been affected, lost a friend, lost a family member, or had somebody just really gotten imprisoned and put in. So I've seen that there's an idea of the proposed name for the CS positions, and that's the first thing that I noticed, and I was like, this idea of even entertaining the thought of playing the game of we are still talking to William Ruto. No, because we are exiting a matrix. We're exiting the colonial matrix which William Ruto represents, the matrix of the 1884 Berlin Conference. And so even these ideas of even entertaining the idea of nominating CSs, like really, it needs to be like, we are not dealing with that reality. This is a whole new reality that's been created. This is a whole new matrix, and we can't be talking to a dysfunctional one that is in distraction, that is rotten, and that we are moving on from. So that is one thing that I said that, and then so also to talk about the violence that has been mentioned, the fact of the diminishing numbers on the streets, that the violence that the police force is using right now, and even, you know, the way they're masking themselves, it's very concerted. It's to scare people off the streets. And it then becomes, you know, it's very planned, because the more people are afraid, the less people turn up. The less people turn up, the more it say that, oh, Kenyans are happy. The few who are going on the street are criminal elements, and then the more they're able to be targeted. So that's kind of like putting ourselves out there and saying that, yeah, we are okay to be sure. And I think we need to, because we value life, and I think it's been amazing so far what the movement has been doing in terms of even taking care, holding such compassion for those who's been killed and their families, but we need to recognize what's happening, and what's happening is that there's a concerted effort to make sure that people are not going on the streets and criminalizing the few ones who go. So I just want to talk about in terms of moving forward and changing strategy, because there's need to now actually go to the constituencies, go to the ground. So looking at doing this final uprooting, looking at it like a tooth, doing this final uprooting of this tooth called parliament, of this political establishment. And the ways to do that are two. One, there's exploring the idea of so first of all, Parliament was declared unconstitutional based on the two-third gender rule, which it has still not met. And the CJ Maraga, that was in 2020, he issued an advisory, and it was the women's sector that was the women's rights sector that was pushing for this. And it still remains the same. Parliament is unconstitutional according to the two-third gender rule. And so it would then be about having a sit down with, I think it's the AG or the CJ, to now just, who's supposed to give 60 days for Parliament to either address that, or to then declare Parliament dissolved. So that's the first thing. But the second thing, and it could be happening at the same time, is going to the constituencies and getting signatures to recall the MPs, and how many are needed. Like 30% of the voters is what's needed, and then submitting those to IEBC. So in terms of moving forward, like that, these are things that it would be very key for us to start looking at. The date to start from would be August. Somebody has actually set a website. I don't know who it is. It's called recall.co.ke. Another person, Peter Salasia, I also don't know him, but he's an MP. He's been very vocal about recalling Parliament. So it's like, let's start mobilizing forces of the people who are saying the same things, and just to move forward. So, Asante.
Thank you so much for your submission. I'd like to pass. Guys, retweet the space. Inject. Hashtag Ruto must go. Arthur, have you?
Thank you. Yes, I have retweeted. You can check. So, and I'm really grateful to all of you. Kimunzi, KOT, Afrocentric. Every day I wake up 24 hours. I fall asleep. I wake up. I still find you online. That is great. First, I would like to appreciate that people have already worked hard, and we've reached somewhere, just sustaining the movement. Let's not only look at what's going wrong, that people are not showing up. People have to be scared. People have to be motivated, and that is normal. And we say in the human rights movement, we say that everyone is important. Not everyone has to be there on the street. It's really important to be on the street, but everyone has a purpose. So those people who are abroad and may not be able to make it on the street can support in any way. We have strategies. They can keep on telling us what we think we can do. So we should not look at that. We should also note what threats we have in this movement. One, we know we have NIS following this movement online, and that is where we are. We also know that one of our weaknesses is that we may not be able to find our physical meetings, but we can take advantage of the fact that now we know people from our communities who we can organize ourselves locally and also plan locally, so that not everything we do is open. So there are also those surprises that we can plan in our various quarters, in our villages, just with our friends, the few people that can meet physically. So that there are surprises and also ideas that may just show up in the field when we are also going on, so that it's also not seen. Everything should not be on the table always, as much as we say the idea. The idea of Uhuru Park is a sterling idea, because if they kill you in Uhuru Park, it will be seen. And Uhuru Park doesn't mean that you don't go to work. You go to work, it becomes 24 hours reject. becomes 24 hours, Ruto must go. So you go to Uhuru Park, you come back, you go to work. If you went for night shift, you go for the number of hours you can, so that we can take care of the logistics. We have to eat, we have to work, but we have to sustain the pressure. How do you sustain the pressure? You go to a central place, you keep speaking the same language over and over again, you go back to work, you support the business community, they do business there, but the message is there. Third, civic education will happen more effectively at Uhuru Park. We sit, we talk about these issues physically. People can ask questions physically. We know our faces. We have more time to plan. We have more time to strategize. We have more physical forums to really think about this movement. So Uhuru Park is still stalling. It's not always about walking. Walking gives opportunity for violence, for police to take advantage and brutalize people. Importantly, also, we need to think around the fact that I've been asking myself, if somebody is killing you, even if it is your father, will God punish you for protecting yourself? I'm not calling for violence, but I'm saying if we go and sit at Uhuru Park peacefully and somebody decides to kill us, then we also decide to do what they are doing to us. Then I don't know if it is illegal, but by all means, I believe the law allows you to self-defend. I am not a lawyer. I don't know what to do, but I believe I have a right to protect my life. I don't have a right to be killed by even my government. So I really believe that. And I know the time is almost over. Multiple strategies. And one question we must ask ourselves as a final note, what does Ruto care for? What does he care for? That is what, if we can answer, then definitely. And who is in support of Ruto? So if we can answer those two questions, then we are able to move forward and change things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Definitely. Who was their mic unmuted? Definitely, this government is acting outside the confines of the constitution. I'm seeing IPOA has asked for the acting inspector general to be arrested because of the killings that happened yesterday. Let's see how far that goes. But it's really saddened, the situation and we find ourselves in as a